supporting actor for his portrayal of the young Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2. In 1980, he won his second Oscar as Best Actor for his extraordinary portrayal of Jake LaMotta in Scorsese's Raging Bull. Niro has earned Academy Award nominations for his work in 4 additional films. For his role as Travis Bickle in Scorsese's acclaimed Taxi Driver, as a Vietnam vet, and Michael Cimino's The Deer Hunter as a catatonic patient brought to life in Penny Marshall's Awakenings, and in 1992 for his role as...
It's really an honor to be here. I've never done this. I did it last year at NYU, and they accused me of not saying very much. Me and Steven Spielberg, and we both really, it was appropriate. We didn't want to talk forever, and we want to just keep going on with platitudes, which is nice. You don't always, but they said that we hadn't said very much, but actually it was just to get on, wish the students the best of luck in the future and so on, and get off. Quit while you're ahead. When in doubt, do less. But it's an honor to be here, and you're all starting out, and it's interesting. When I went to acting school, I always was very, very, very concerned about how I would do a scene or this or that. It was perfect and very hard on myself. And when I got out into the real world, I found that one thing is that it was a lot easier. People are not so hard on you, and they accept more, and they accept it at what it is. So you're not like, So I used to say, well, the director's happy with it, so if I got a part of something, he's happy, and she's happy, fine. Then I'll do my thing, and try and improve it for myself. But their demands were not as, especially if you got into things like movies and stuff like that. But the other thing is also that my little advice I could give you is that you should always persevere and not give up, and just keep at it. And what I always tell friends or my own children or anybody who's trying, asks my advice is to just keep, not to, you have to enjoy what you're doing, and not to, if you become successful, that's great, but most of the time that won't happen. So you just have to really enjoy what you're doing for what it is, and it'll get you through anything. That's what I'm going to do. I'm looking at my notes here. Actually, I think that's it. But I wish everybody the best of luck, and that's the strongest thing I would say is persevere, don't give up, just keep doing it if you really believe in what you're doing and in yourself. Enjoy it, do it, keep at it, and it'll pay off for you. It'll
have preceded it. Cash bar was supposed to have been set up after, in a very solemn and proud way. I think that was one of the greater moments the school has ever had. Last year we had Martin Sheen, and the year before we had Dustin Hoffman, and we've had some pretty fabulous people grace our school, and that was pretty much a dream come true. Brief, but it was here. I would like to introduce the staff to the parents and relatives and friends of the people who have come here to see your future Robert De Niros and graduating. I will start from one side to the other. We don't know which it'll be. I guess it'll go this way. This gentleman over here, who I am married to, owns the studio. And with me, his name is C.W. Brown. I'm going to skip over our guest speaker for a moment because I want to do a full-out introduction to our second guest speaker. And I'm going to skip over to the lovely redhead Kim Woodman, who's our administrative assistant. And the lovely brunette next to the redhead is the administrator of the Joanne Baron D.W. Brown studio, who single-handedly holds up the fortress with Kim that we know and love. You have to be very strong to run an acting
What's her
school
name?
with 250 students. Very strong. Strong in spirit, mind, and soul. Now, we're going to move over to the teachers. Beautiful, the sensational Mary Riley. Mary Riley is a first and second year teacher. For the guests that are here, this program is run as a 2-year program. That's why we have diplomas. There's a beginning and a middle and an end, unlike some other classes that one might take that would be relegated more as acting classes. This is really a vocational intensive trade program. It's much the same as someone might go to school for ballet or for opera. This has a beginning, middle, and end, and people go through a rigorous commitment to be here. And this graduation and the diplomas bestowed upon these individuals who have worked enslaved, and you have supported them in doing so, is an expression of us honoring their work. Mary is a first and second year teacher. Ben Meyerson is a second year teacher. Now you don't want to make the other teachers feel bad. Okay. The next individual who is a first and second year teacher is Mr. Tom Patton. Our first year senior teacher, Mr. Hanson David Stanley. Our second year coach, Brian Rasmussen. Our first year teacher, Mark Bosley. And our first year teacher and coach, the beautiful Lena Harris. W. Brown, who is the co-teacher, but also an inspiring, brilliant, dedicated.
This far, if you didn't have a work ethic, you're going to receive a certificate that signifies that fact. You know what costs little is usually of little worth. You know that only the truth can give you true reputation, and in the end, only substance is profitable. You know that the true road to respect is through merit, and if industry accompanies merit, that road becomes shorter. Been some really amazing people have come through here, and you are among them. And you people put forth. So Michael's saying, Michael is a great guy. I remember him from. I like your shirt. Really great artist. And you people made the sacrifice. It's unbelievable. You really don't know. But on the other hand, at this point, at these gatherings, I like to take a moment to divert the whole tribute and this whole shebang and point that tribute in a different way, and that is for the people who helped you through this. The people who, a lot of them might be out there, the people who, you know, they weren't getting that cathartic moment. They weren't getting caressed by the muse. They were waiting in the car. You know? They were digging out your partner's new phone number. They're, you know, making sacrifices of their time and their money and not having you there to help when it would have been nice, you know. And maybe they're sitting in the next room while you're rehearsing with the dog, you know, keeping it calm because it thinks its master's being killed in the living room. Or just having to deal with you when you're going through an issue, you know. That's very real. But as I was saying, you are a group of people who stepped up. You applied yourselves in this environment that is not always easy. This is an environment that will oftentimes encourage the shortcut, but you took the long route. You were content with doing and left the talking to others. The poorly understood thing, acting and accomplishment, is a funny thing to judge. It's the same in life, but especially in acting. You see, it's a short stroll from the hoot to the hurrah. And the best I've ever been able to come up with for philosophy is this follow your bliss stuff. You know, to try to live a life without regrets. The thing I talk about sometimes, to try to live and choose as you would want a character in a play to live and choose if you were watching it. Someone said the not taking of a risk is the greatest risk you can take. And that involves doing hard work. You guys did a lot of hard work and you truly challenged yourselves. And there are many who would have become great had they not been busy trying to protect an image of greatness. And you know that receiving instruction does not diminish your talent or cast doubt on your greatness. It is craft. And you aspire to be heroes, not just look like them. This certificate is proof of all of that. Sow an act, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. And you did it. You graduated the 2-year program of study. But I'm not through with you just yet. I have one more piece of instruction for you. That's what everyone said so far. You possess the knowledge of the craft, and now you side, it must be assisted by energy. And I'm sorry, but acting does come with this essential problem. Dustin Hoffman mentioned this when he was so kind to speak a few years back. For an actor, you need the job, he said. It's not like a painter or a poet who can do their thing no matter what. An actor has to find a way to independently apply themselves to this thing of acting. Commercial dependence on practicing your craft is a killer. You must find every means possible. It's what Michael's talking about here, to exercise your talents, organize reading groups, videotape each other, put together projects, get involved in live theater. There's always going to be live theater. It's just too cool, Sure, there's, this is your basic medical school, and you can go out there and specialize on the liver or something. But I think you have a responsibility to the love that you brought to bear on this pursuit. And that doesn't just mean as an actor, but maybe as a writer or a set designer or anything creative, anything artistic, even the art of raising your children. Dustin Hoffman also said, really impressed the hell out of me, he said I'd never been as happy as when I was directing community theater in a church in Fargo, North Dakota. And that's it. It's about contentedness and happiness. And so read all the great plays. Don't stop the passion. Keep at it. Keep your judgment flexible, but stay strong of will. You have the wisdom, now put it to use. Wisdom is your eyes, purpose is your hands. Mediocre will get further with application than the superior without it. Materials turn bad more often in disuse than in motion. I had this happen recently. I just ended up, circumstantially, having an extra washing machine. I said, well, I'll just store that one. The guy said, nah, man, you can't store it. It'll turn to crap. Patience and prudence in all things, by all means. But initiative is the mother of good fortune. A wonderful saying is, make haste slowly. Simple logic, perhaps, but the most real thing is most of the time things are not attained because they are not attempted. So you charge in, you do it. Take the momentum you have here. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Keep that fire alive. Look, if an undertaking is worth taking on, it's worth finishing. So why not finish it? Don't be happy flushing the quarry out of the bush. Strike it down. It's okay to seek out difficulties as long as you go to remedy them. And I'm not saying rush headlong into the struggle, but maybe you ought to go out there and meet it halfway. Do the essential first, the extraneous afterwards, if there's time. And it's true that some people expect to triumph before they've struggled, but oftentimes the wise and the foolish do the same thing, and the only difference is when they do it. And in moments of great challenge, I recommend that you don't even think. You just simply act. Just do it. Don't dwell on the difficulties. If it's chosen to be done, brooding and despair has no place there. There's no better companion in a tight spot than a stout heart. And hopefully we've given you a standard of excellence that you're going to carry with you. Pursuit of growth itself, maybe. The best of yourselves. I expect you people to carry that out there and be satisfied with nothing less than your best effort. And there's one last thing I want to point out here, which is, one last issue, you got to show off. And yes, there is some skill in displaying your skill, and it should be well timed and free of affectation. It's a kind of muted elegance, like maybe a careless display of excellence that you want to aspire to. So it's time to shine. And I know this isn't necessarily just a happy occasion, because every birth is like that. Every birth is frightening, disturbing, uncomfortable, and there's pain and loss. And this thing we had, it's going to be missed. And the fellowship and the support that I see among you guys, simple things, helping somebody out with a costume, just a nice word. That's a precious thing, that fellowship. That should be missed. It means it was worthwhile. And I hope you take that investment that you made here, maintain those relationships. That you go out there with gallantry. There are a lot of words for it: brio, bravado, and French, joie de vivre. Dash, valor, grace, nobility. Do what you do best. And now one last quote. We are all fellow travelers along life's weary way. If anyone can play the pipes, in God's name, let them play.
Robert De Niro, Michael Reimer, D.W. Brown, the Joanne Barry and D.W. Brown studio. It's been a good day. And now, we're about to embark on this lovely tradition. We can have the beautiful Gopher Baroque trio. Our lovely trio that comes every year to help us. Our cash bar and our lovely fruit punch, which will await you at the end of these diplomas, where we will have a lovely toast on the veranda and squeeze together very closely. I now will initiate, one person at a time, by name, coming to the stage and receiving their diploma. Will the teachers all rise, and Michael Reimer, please? Stand. Each student will circulate. Tina Arning.